Hi, everybody. This is Jim Cornette, pro wrestling legend, and you're listening to the Book in the Territory Unprofessional Wrestling Podcast.
This is the artist formerly known as Daryl Van Horn, James Mitchell, the Sinister Minister, and I'm here to let you know I would rather slam my cock in a car door than to miss the dulcet tones of Hard Body Harper, my illegitimate son, on Booking the Territory podcast.
Woo, Messi, this is professional wrestler Jimmy Valiant, the Boogie Woogie Man. Tell my people, my brothers and sisters, don't you dare miss Booking the Territory. Oh, yeah.
This is a one-man gang. You're listening to Booking the Territory Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome back, everyone, to this week's episode of Booking the Territory, the unprofessional wrestling podcast, where today we're talking NWA Saturday Night on TBS from December the 10th, 1988. We're coming off the last week's episode and the Clash of the Champions that dropped a couple of days after that. I am sitting here with Hardbody Harper and Mean Mike Crockett. Crockett, first off, how you doing, man? You living a dream, brother?
Oh, I'm trying, man. I'm trying. This is great. What's going on in the world today? Happy to be here.
It's rough, man. It's rough. I'm not going to say anything more. I know a lot of people who have been furloughed.
I got furloughed.
Well, I wasn't going to say it unless you said it. So
and I got all those 30 packs of beer so I can get FUBAR while I get furloughed.
I should try that.
You should. I felt like I bought, because I didn't know what the fuck was going to happen with this thing. So I bought I got about 4 30 packs. I got a 24 pack and a fucking 18 pack, and I was going to just give them away to friends of mine. But fuck, I guess I can just sit around and just drink it.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't give it away. It'll.
I mean, what else am I going to fucking do?
Right.
Go find a cure for the coronavirus.
Good luck with that.
Bro, why can't they get the mask, bro? Why is there a shortage of fucking masks? They got all those Mexican fucking luchador masks and those tourist shops. And they can't get a couple of goddamn fucking hospital masks.
I thought this was about to go political, and then he started talking about luchador mask. Oh.
So we need a bunch of La Parcas and octagons walking around.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Wouldn't that be awesome if you're sick with the coronavirus and your doctor walks in with a fucking La Parca mask on?
Jesus Christ. Well, hopefully we're bringing up the mood because we know everybody is a lot of people are shut in just like the rest of us. So, oh my God, what a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. Hey, before we get rolling this week, special shout out to our largest Patreon contributors monthly, Disrespectfully Classy, Marky Blassie, Kyle Riley, Mike Childry, Joe Ice. Thank you for your generous patronage each and every month. And I want to shout out a couple of one new patron and a patron who bumped up his pledge. So Tony, I apologize if I butcher your name on Patreon. Chirichetti, thank you for bumping up your pledge to the Hall of Fame level. And new BTT Hall of Fame Patreon member Jimmy Champ, thank you for signing up and becoming a Hall of Fame patron. Crockett, I usually throw it to Doc at this point and say, hey, you got any shout outs? But, I mean, I don't know if you really got shout-outs or how well you're monitoring Twitter these days and if you're seeing anything that you want to talk about. So Doc usually does that. But then again, the last show we recorded hasn't technically dropped yet, so you would not have seen the great feedback our listeners would have given you. So I guess you probably don't have any shout-outs.
Not quite yet, but I think maybe we should discuss the elephant in the room. Joe Diffie. No one has spoken a word about this man in 30 years.
Yeah, no.
And I think it was Harper brought him up a few weeks ago, and now he's gone.
I can't bring up anybody now.
Oh, Harper, don't talk about me on this show, Harper. I don't want to die.
John Deere grade.
Sing it, Hopper.
Something dark summer night. Billy Bob loves Charlene. Something like that.
What a great tribute.
Yeah.
That's amazing, dude. Like, I didn't know who it was until I didn't know who he was until Harper mentioned his name, and then they were going back and forth talking about it. I'm like, I don't know who that is, and
he was big in the Garth era, like in the 90s.
Yeah, that's my era of Bone Thugs and Harmony, Harper. So, and Juvenile, and Back That Ass Up, and all that good shit, you know. That's my Cash Money No Limit Bone Thugs time, Harper. I mean, you know that. How the hell I'm gonna know who Joe? What's his name? Diffie?
Yeah, Joe Diffie.
Yeah, I mean, Steven Javorsky, he goes on the Facebook group all the time and starts cranking one off, talking about all these obscure groups. I have no idea who the hell they are as he jerks off to them and cranks and shoots his load on his Facebook screen. And I'm supposed to figure out, like, I don't know. No, I don't know.
That's nice.
I know. Steven, we love you. That's why I bring you up, man. And Chris Sapita, the rib is on you. You shouldn't have brought up the Steven Javorsky crank-off moment of the week, because now it's synonymous with your name, and there we go. Harper, you got anything before we jump into this week's episode?
No.
All right. So let's do this thing, get the Patreon video started. Again, this is December 10th, 1988, Saturday night on TBS. So we're coming off the Clash of the Champions that Crockett and I did a few days ago that you would have heard or should have heard by now if you're listening to them in chronological order. So the show opens with a clip from the Clash with Dusty Rhodes, the Road Warriors, and a run-in from Sting. Like I said, the latest Clash is up for you to review now on Patreon at tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. And then we head to the studio for the first match, and they go straight to the first match without saying anything. Crockett, you and I talked about this match during our Clash review ad nauseum, with how Dusty Rhodes just literally backhands Tommy Young to get and Tommy Young doesn't even DQ him. He waits until he sees the chair to DQ him. So I don't know if you want to add anything more, but that was a very lively discussion from a former pro wrestling manager and yourself. Oh, I'm sorry, referee and yourself, as you noticed Tommy Young getting abused and didn't even ring the bell at that moment.
Yeah, Tommy Young literally was backhand chopped out of the ring by Dusty Rhodes. Blatantly, Dusty looks over at him, chops him, and he bails out to the floor. And all this shit happens with all these guys coming in. Ellering comes in, Hawk comes in, then Sting comes in to even things up. And then after all this, Dusty says, "Okay, now I need a chair." He takes this chair from like an elementary school, brings it in the ring. It's not a folding chair, and hits Animal with it, trying to break his leg, says Jim Ross on commentary. And Dusty will back that up later on in a promo we're going to hear. But only then does Tommy Young call for the bell and say, he used a chair, he should be disqualified. Like, dude, stand up for yourself.
After all of that, he finally DQ'd him after all those shenanigans. It was a thing of beauty. All right, so we jump to the first match. We got the Fantastics who defeat Terry Jones and Rick Allen. Harper, do you have anything from this match?
No.
Crockett, what about you?
Well, there was a dropkick off the top from Tommy Rogers that was a glancing blow at best.
I thought he missed him.
It did, yeah. I mean, they did, like, the camera angle kind of made it look a little ambiguous, but yeah, it was one of those things where in today's wrestling, they'd say, I don't think he got all of it. But yeah, it was not a hell of a drop kick. I will say that much. Mike, have you worked with Tommy Rogers? Am I mistaken on that?
Yeah, I've actually worked him a few times. Or, I mean, when he was alive, yeah.
When he was...
yeah.
That makes sense.
No, I mean,
how was he to work with?
Like, he did wonderful. He was very giving, and just for somebody who... like these guys, I mean, you've been around these quote unquote stars, Crockett, and I guess some of them have, I don't know, some of them are different than others. And I guess maybe this is because, this is the late 90s, early 2000s. He was just cool. Like, I mean, he wasn't like, I remember like walking up to him, hey, what do you want to do? And he's like, oh, let's do this to this. And let's start this way. Let's finish this way. And in the ring, we'll just call it a ring. And he's like, just follow me. And that was it. I mean, pretty much that's how it went. And he's like super duper light. Oh my God. Super like nothing he did was like, God damn, what are you doing? Are you trying to murder me? Which,
Yeah.
I mean, guys from his era, it was weird. You'd have guys like him that were super duper light, and then you'd have people who just would get in there and like manhandle you and murder you. Like One Man Gang was like that. He didn't do it on purpose. He just was blind as a bat, but he would murder you. So, Tommy was cool, man. He was really good, really generous. Put me over too, unlike Chris Adams.
Well, yeah, that's all I have for the match, really.
Yeah, Tommy was a hell of an athlete too, man. He as short as he is, like he could, if he had a guy like sitting on the top rope, he could just hit you with a standing drop kick right in the head, like right in the face, like it was nothing. I mean, he had some springs in his legs. Didn't really show it a lot, but he could. Is this a drop kick?
Here's that drop kick.
Yes, he completely missed. He missed that Hopper. He whiffed. Look at that Hopper.
Let's see. Yeah, he didn't touch him.
Can I tell you something? That's how you break an ankle too.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
If you come down because you're flying sideways, so in your boot catches. Anyway, it happens, even to the best of us. So all right, well that match ends. The Fantastics win, and then Tony and JR formally open the show, and they mentioned the Texas Broncos will debut here today. The Texas Broncos are Dustin Rhodes and Kendall Windham. Kendall we've seen, but it's been a while. I don't even remember the last time Kendall was on T. Do you have any clue, Hopper, when the last time we would have seen it?
It's been a year, huh?
I thought it was earlier in '88, but I don't know when it was. It's been a while though. It's not been. It hadn't been weeks. It's been months by far. So yeah, we will see them. The Texas Broncos, new quote unquote tag team. Dustin
That sounds
Rhodes,
like an arena football team, huh?
It does. It does. It sounds like an arena football team or an XFL. Maybe not an XFL team, but an arena football team. I can see that for sure. And then, so after that, we're told we're going to see them. And then JR and Tony also mentioned Bill Apter will be here to give out his yearly awards today. We've seen this a few times over the years that we've done these. And then we jump immediately. Well, Crockett, did you have anything from that before I go to the next match?
No, I'm good.
Okay. I didn't think so. We got the Russian Assassins who defeat Eddie Sweat and Bill Holliday. Paul Jones is yapping on commentary that Ivan didn't get the job done against him at the Clash. JR says Ivan has a new tag team partner.
Uh-oh.
And then he goes on to say he is big and black. And then he cleans it up and says he's the biggest black star ever because big and black didn't sound too good at that moment. Hopper, I didn't have a timestamp from it, but did you catch that?
I mean, I'll be honest. I was like, I'm not watching these assholes. And I kept hitting 10, 10, 10. And then I heard something about JYD.
Yeah, it's we're exhausted with the Russian Assassins at this point. Let's just admit it.
Yeah, the fuck.
Crockett, did you catch that comment?
Oh yes, I did. Yeah, he's big, he's bad, he's black. Yeah.
And then he cleaned it up, and he's like, "Well, what I mean is he's the biggest black star
Best
ever."
Black athlete. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that. There we go. And that is JYD that he's talking about. So there's that. We keep moving because the Russian Assassins, oh my God, they've done nothing but made Hopper crank one off every week to them as he's angry.
Yeah,
JR and Tony Schiavone plug Starrcade 1988 taking place December 26th, the day after Christmas. That review will be coming up soon. And then we go to another match. It is the Road Warriors who defeat Chuck Casey and Reno Riggins of Smoky Mountain Wrestling fame. The Warriors are heels, but they are definitely getting cheers in the studio. And I will say this, because Crockett and I just did the Clash. In the arenas, we talked about this, Crockett, did we? They get the boos and Dusty gets the cheers in the arenas, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But in the studio, it's like the Warriors are just too cool for school, and they're just not going to boo the Warriors in any of their matches in the studio. So there's that. Dusty did he got a really good reaction when we when we did the Clash. So there's that. Anything from this match though, Crockett, with the Warriors and Chuck Casey and Reno Riggins?
No, it's really nothing to it. It's very, very quick win.
Yeah, it was a clothesline for the finish. Yeah, here it is.
was actually pretty light by Hawk, I think.
Yeah, no.
He didn't murder him on that one. So, no promo again. We go straight to the next match. And I'm not skipping promos. It's just that they don't get to a promo until a good 30 minutes into this thing. We get a match.
It's closer to an hour.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I have something from Cornette that I'm going to play at the 30-minute mark. That's what I was thinking. You're right, though. Yeah, it's...
In the studio, yeah. Okay, you're right,
Yeah, I got you. So we go to the Texas Broncos, which is like we said at the beginning of the show, Kendall Windham and Dustin Rhodes. Oh, go ahead, Hopper.
That girl's face. She's like, "What the hell?"
Go ahead. Let's hear your comments. I know you can't wait for this. Here,
you know who he looks like, Brian? Look at her. She's like, why she got that face?
Okay, hold on. Before we start, Harper, I got to ask both of you a question. Are they legal age, Harper?
Yes.
Okay, I agree.
Yeah.
They look 18 or above. Would you agree, Crockett?
I mean, in the 80s, it's almost hard to tell. It's like,
yeah, I know.
They could be like 18 or 37. I don't know.
Right.
Is it the Aquanet in the hair that's fooling us here? I'm confused.
Yeah, and the clothing, yeah.
I guess. All right. So, Hopper, you were about to say, why is she looking like the way she looks?
Yeah, she's like got a face on her. Like, what the fuck am I looking at?
Baby, have you ever heard of wrestling? You're at a wrestling studio. She looks like she's primed for some Robert Gibson fun. That's all I'm saying.
And that guy behind her, what the fuck's his deal?
Rocking the sweet, soft stash.
Yeah.
He's got the stash, and he looks like he's got a mullet, too, doesn't he, Harper?
It looks like a shitty Barry Windham.
I'm waiting for Harper to go.
We're going to see the shitty Barry Windham in the ring.
All right, let me hit play. We'll go to the match. These two girls, I tell you what, man, Dustin Rhodes is still doing it even today. He's in there with Mike Jackson and one of the Cruel Connections. I don't know if it's one or two, but not that it really matters. Oh, the Cruel Connection. This is 1988, and Dustin is in here, and he's still wrestling in 2020. That's pretty damn amazing.
You know who he looks like? The guy from Footloose. What's his Sean Penn's brother? Chris Penn?
Crockett, do you know who that is?
I can see it a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, with the cowboy hat and the boots on. He was like, I don't know how to dance.
Oh, God, he's so young. Mike
19,
Jackson,
yeah.
The school teacher, Mike Jackson, with his balding head.
Oof.
I say that looks like a school teacher. Obviously, he's not a school teacher. He's a wrestler. Crockett, do you know Mike Jackson is still wrestling on the Indies?
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
Tell him, Hopper.
Yeah.
He's we there was actually someone posted a poster that he was on in the Facebook group. He is still wrestling.
Hopefully he's shaved his head by now, right?
He's bald-headed and he looks good, don't he, Hopper?
Yeah, I mean, he just looks old, but I mean, he's still good in a ring.
Yeah. Didn't you say Andrew was at a show, went to a show that he was on or something?
Yeah.
And he said he looked good?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Crockett, he shaved his head, and he's actually, I'm not going to sit there and tell you he's in better shape than he is right here, but he looks really, really good for his age. I mean, you can tell he's old. I think he even shaved a beard. I don't even think he had the beard in the poster.
Yeah.
But it's him. Mike Jackson still working. Incredible. I mean, he'd been working for years at this point, so. Crockett, any other thoughts on this match, though?
Well, you can tell Kendall's hairline is already retreating at this point. He's 21 years old. That's rough. He's going to look like Mike Jackson in a few years.
And I wanted to get another look at him to see how much, if he was at least starting to put a little bit of weight on. I don't think at this stage. They're going to tag these two for a few months, and then like early next year, they stop tagging, and that's when Kendall Windham kind of, he's still real skinny. I think Kendall Windham starts like doing more single stuff, and out of the blue, they kind of just start alluding to him as a heel. So I wouldn't get too used to them as a tag team. I mean, it's going to go on for a month or two, but it's not terribly long that they're tag teaming. All right. Any other thoughts on this one, Crockett?
Oh, this match is kind of like the arm wringer Olympics. Just a lot of arm work. And something else I noticed: the second double drop kick on the show. I think the Fantastics did one as well. I know the Rock and Rolls have been gone for like a few months, but now everyone is just taking the double drop kick and just doing it like laissez-faire, just kind of just doing it because they're not there anymore.
You know, it's funny. We used to talk about when Dick Murdoch and Jimmy Garvin would be on the same show. Those sons of guns that hit the brain buster back to back in back to back matches or right after each other for a few weeks straight, as long as Dick Murdoch was around. And then Dick Murdoch would disappear, but they would always do it. There's a double drop kick right there. Yep. All right. So then we go to the next match. It is Ron Simmons and Eddie Gilbert. They defeat Big Bear Collie and Mike Justice.
Holy shit.
Okay. Let me get to
what?
it.
Come on.
This fucking match.
Go ahead. Tell me about it.
This thing falls apart. Like I when they first started, I saw like, the squash guys, a lot of them are garbage, but I saw this guy, Mike Justice. He looks good. Seemed to be working all right. The other guy, Bear Collie, seemed to be serviceable. And then, Jesus Christ. Well, I think it started with Ron Simmons. I think he was supposed to tag Gilbert in for like their finish. Basically, it looks like it was going to be Ron whips him off the ropes, then does a drop down. Eddie Gilbert catches him and gives him the hot shot into the top rope. That's I think what's going to happen. But then Ron Simmons didn't tag Eddie Gilbert, so he whips the guy, Bear Collie. Not a slender man, got a little extra weight on him. So he whips him, drops down. Collie comes back the other way. Simmons drops down again. And then Collie and Simmons just kind of shoulder tackle and have a staring contest. Like neither of them know what the hell's going on at this point. And then Simmons tags in Eddie finally. So then he does the whip. He does a drop down for the third time. And Collie, you can see him huffing and puffing at this point. Collie trips over Simmons, who is doing the drop down, and then goes stumbling into Eddie Gilbert, who looks like he's going for the hot shot there. Can't get it. And Eddie just kind of pushes him onto his back. And it doesn't get any better from there. Holy shit. I think like he was hitting once Collie hit the ropes like 3 or 4 times, he was just blown to smithereens, I think.
Harper just said, because of his suplex on the floor. Harper, that's that guy that you said that time looked like Scott Norton. He doesn't look like him here, but because he's grown out his beard or whatever. But
right, he's so blown up he can't even get up for the suplex.
Yep,
it was a suplex that looked like a terrible DDT on the floor.
Yeah, they call it a brain buster on the commentary, but
don't even try to get up.
Dude, he didn't move. He just sandbagged the hell out of him. Look at him. He's just like a dead turd.
and then at the end, Ron Simmons like kicks him like, you fucking that.
Yep, I noticed that too.
That was the pin, so that was terrible. So that was the. Let me go to the first part of it that you're talking about. Is this look like it's about it, Crockett?
I think it's about it. Yeah.
He fucking does the 2 drop downs, and I think it just blew him up right right there. Like he's just done.
He's like,
like he's just out of fucking gas.
Hey, watch this. Now Eddie takes over, whips him into the ropes again.
Watch this.
This guy's had enough.
He didn't hook the ropes.
Almost fell out of the ring.
I'll be surprised if we see him again on here.
Just whiplashed himself from the top rope with his head.
Harper, we've seen this guy before, and he hadn't been this bad.
Bro, he fucking blew up from fucking the 2 drop downs.
God,
hitting the rope 12 times.
When I first saw it, I'm thinking maybe he hit his head somehow, and he's out of it. I think he just blew up.
Dude, he's dead right there.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I was wondering if, like, perhaps he was knocked loopy, but I think he's just blown up.
As Harper says, he's just a turd.
Hey, watch Ron Simmons. Watch him.
I think I saw him kick him. Yeah.
Yeah, he just gave him a little kick as he's getting his arm raised by Teddy Long.
Watch him. He kicks him.
Bitch.
Oh man. Okay. Any other thoughts on that one?
I think we've said it all.
Yeah, I think so too. Ron Simmons and Eddie Gilbert win. Let's go now to JR and Tony throw us to the Midnight Express, an original Midnight Express clip. Here it is.
There's a lot of things going on as we head right towards Starrcade, and one of the hottest feuds right now certainly has to be for the name of the Midnight Express. Tony, in that match we have two, perhaps the most premier young managerial genius in the sport today. I'm speaking of Jim Cornette and Paul E. Dangerously. Well, recently, on another national syndicated show that the National Wrestling Alliance has, Jim Cornette has a feature, the Louisville Slugger. Many fans are very familiar with it. Well, he had invited earlier in the program Paul Dangerously to be a guest, and it was a most unusual meeting of the minds. We need to take a look at what happened. Let's take a look at Jim Cornette's Louisville Slugger.
For the past couple of weeks, I've been calling that garbage mouth punk Paulie Dangerously out here to meet me face to face on the Louisville Slugger, and as everybody can see, empty chairs. The coward hadn't shown up again. And that just bears out what I've been telling everybody. Paulie Dangerously is nothing but a coward. He is nothing but a little worm. Here I am standing here. A guy's never whipped anybody, and he won't come out and meet me face to face. Well, now, wait just a second. Who do we have here? Ladies and gentlemen, the worm himself has just crawled up the stairs. Paulie, like I was telling all these people, just like a worm, your guts are soft, your head is soft, and your backbone's soft. The only thing you've ever had hard on you in your life was third grade, brother. Hey, you got something to say to me? Come over here and say it. What? Are you? Hey, look, okay. Here you go, just 1 minute. Look at me. I got no gun, I got no knife. Now, idiot, you got something to say to me? You plant yourself right here in my face, brother. Right here.
The thing is, Jim Cornette, you can come out here and you can do your Don Rickles routine for the whole wrestling world. The fact of the matter is, you're a real funny guy, but we beat you up. And I don't have to come out here on the Louisville Slugger. I have nothing to prove because we left you laying, we beat you up. We're the real Midnight Express.
Should I continue this?
And the fact of the matter is, we're the reason that the ratings are up. As a matter of fact, Cornette, I hear that they're going to dump you, put me in, and not only are they going to put me in, Cornette, but they're going to replace this segment with the Danger Zone. Now, what do you think about that, man?
Well, that punch looked great the way he threw it at Paul E.
Yeah.
Corny continues to attack Paul E right here, and then the original Midnight, I guess Paul E's Midnight, and then the current Midnight, Jimmy's Midnight, come out, and they're brawling. We got a brawl now happening on this set and whatnot. But Crockett, you got anything from this right here as these two teams continue to go at it?
No, I mean, it's pretty realistic. It was pretty, well, except for when they throw those lightweight chairs and no one reacts to it. But anyway, no, there was very, very good brawl. I just hope the payoff lives up to all the build up here.
Yeah, we'll get to that sometime in we'll get to that sometime in 1989.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say. Harper, do you have anything from it?
No.
Just a brawl.
I mean, but the Danger Zone does replace it, huh?
Yeah, I mean, the Danger Zone starts, I feel like it's like March or something of 89. It's maybe for late first quarter, early second quarter of 89, you get the Danger Zone. But yeah, Paulie does start doing the Danger Zone. And they're about to I think they're about to leave the studio too. There's only a few more months actually in the
That's what I was wondering.
Studio.
That's got to be coming up.
Yeah, that's also like around the same time as around the same time the Danger Zone starts, they leave the studio that they're in. which I don't know. It's good. I mean, it's not terrible. 89 in general is a weird year, but we'll talk more about it as we get to it. Okay, so we'll keep going. We got the next match. We got Jim Cornette's Midnight Express. They defeat Curtis Thompson and El Negro. Corny's Midnight Express gets a lot of cheers when he introduces Stan and Bobby. Lots of good stuff here. I've got a timestamp, and my dumbass has no notes from it. So let me see what I have here. 40. Let's see what I have.
I don't care who likes you and who don't like you in this country. The point is, I don't like you, Stan Lane don't like you, and Bob Eaton don't like you, and we're the ones you're going to have to deal with. You know, that Paulie Dangerously, I think his parents made love in a flower bed because he's a blooming idiot. He has one brick shy of a full load if he thinks for a second that he's going to get an advantage over the originators of all this dirty stuff. Just like this big, fat, overgrown slob in the ring right now, they're treating him just like a redheaded stepchild, and of course his head is red, although I'm not sure that's a natural coloring on the boy.
Only working stiff as usual. Crockett, did you have any notes on that one?
Well, yeah, he was on commentary basically, most, if not the entire match. But I did like one thing he said. He says that he didn't think he'd like having the fans on his side, and he's kind of tickled about it. And as soon as he figures out a way to profit off of it, you'll be the first to know.
No lies detected. I love it. He said, I think his parents made love in a flower bed because he's a blooming idiot. Harper, what'd you have from it?
That was funny.
Did you have anything else from it?
Nah.
Yeah. All right. So, Cornette just talked for, a few minutes as the match went on. And, we're going to get more of him as we finally get an interview in the studio with Corne and the Midnight Express with JR. Here it is.
We are back here at our podium, ladies and gentlemen, with Jim Cornette, and we are about 16 days away till the D-Day in Norfolk at the Scope.
I don't think Paulie Dangerously, Dennis Condrey, or Randy Rose can read, but I just wanted everybody else to see that. Now, Paulie, I said that you were going to eat that jacket, and you got a real good start on it until, as the tape showed, Dennis Condrey and Randy Rose showed up and peeled me off of you. Now I can't beat Condrey and Rose, but the two guys that can then showed up and peeled you off of me and made my day a whole lot happier, and at the same time reopened the Midnight Express Moving Company, throwing some furniture around. And the whole point of the thing, last time we saw the original Midnight Express, all we saw was elbows and shoe soles because they were heading to higher ground. But the point is, we are back in business, brother, and it's about time. Now, Dennis Condrey and Randy Rose, that's only the start. The last 6 weeks we've been dumped on heavy, and that's only the start of getting our self-respect back. That's only the tip of the iceberg at what Condrey and Rose have got coming at the hands of these two men right here. But more importantly, Paulie Dangerously, it's no secret. Ever since I've been in professional wrestling, brother, I've been looking to win a fight. I've had 52 wrestling matches, ain't won one. I have come out on the wrong end of quite a few fights, and I've even got knocked goofy by a girl. But, Paulie, let's set the whole thing straight. I finally found somebody I can whip. I'm going to stick this fist down to your throat so far, when I pull it out, it's going to have toenails sticking out of it, because you couldn't whip cream with an outboard motor, Paulie, and you just remember that. And you remember one more thing. When the whole thing's said and done, when they beat Condrey and Rose, when I beat you, you just realize, Paulie, what you're going to feel like when the whole country, the whole world knows the first time in my life I ever kicked somebody's butt, it was yours.
All right, fans, we'll be back with the Commandos here on Superstation TBS in one moment.
Man, he's a babyface. Crockett, what are your thoughts?
What can you say, really? Great promo. I like the fact that he's putting over that, he's never won a fight in his life, but he can take Paulie, and his guys can take, Condrey and Rose. Excellent promo. I see Stan just kind of leaning over the counter the whole time, to kind of staring off into space, maybe staring at those women there, trying to figure out if they're 18 or 35.
Harper, tell Crockett what Stan is doing.
He's pitching. He's picking out a broad to bang.
Yeah.
Are we going to go with singular here or plural?
Oh, come on. Just one.
I would say he's eyeing a few.
He's definitely looks like he's just staring off into space.
Dude, as Doc said one time, he looks like Jimmy. He looks like he's thinking, Jimmy, will you wrap this up so I can get to the back and get this thing yanked on?
Yeah.
I thought Corny was good though. Yeah. Anything else, Harper?
Nah.
The Commandos defeat Keith Steinborn and Randy Hogan.
Good for them.
Well, it's good to know that Commando Ray got his camouflage pants out of the wash this week. He's wearing them this time. But other than that, that's the only thing I really noticed.
God,
do we ever hear him talk?
I don't think so.
Well, that's good.
I'm trying to remember, because they're not around for long. I feel like they're here during this time. I'm trying to remember if they even make it into January. I don't really remember, but I don't think I remember a promo from them. And as I say that, somebody's going to send me a clip and I'll have to eat my words, but I don't think so, but who knows? I don't know if we either care. But what we do care about is Dusty Rhodes, who he's going to cut a promo here because he's got something to say leading up to what we're going to see at Starrcade. So here that is. Dusty is with Jim Ross. It's key to point out they are not in the studio. They are at another location. Here it is.
Throughout the years, ladies and gentlemen, one man's name has been synonymous with box office in the world of professional wrestling. The Bull of the Woods, a 3-time winner of the Bunkhouse Stampede, but a man now that his mind far removed from the Bunkhouse Stampede, but on revenge. We saw recently, Dusty, no doubt that you were trying to break the man's leg. I know that your heart is full with hate right now. But on December 26th, can you control yourself enough, Dusty, to go for the World's Tag Team title with Sting?
Well, let me tell you something, Jimbo. The bottom line is I was trying to break your leg, animal. It's very simple. When you come in my backyard, when you come in my house, when you try to take a limb, an eye, an ear, a tooth, or a nose from Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, don't think you're going to go home and lay down and not get some payback. So now then, the violence, the anger that is in Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, is because of my brothers in paint. Woo! Are they brothers in paint? No longer. They walk the streets of Chicago now, and people say, that ain't the Mighty Road Warriors. That's them two yellow dog with that little pistol neck deer hunting, bear hunting, geek Paul Ellery with his newspaper in his hand. Well, let me tell you something, Daddy. You got to live with the fact I have been world's heavyweight champion 3 times. 3 times. And now then, the world's tag team titles. Now then, my mind is knowing that I can hurt you, baby, and you can't hurt me any more than you have. So you got to deal with the fact that Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, and the Stinger, electrifying thunder, lightning train, pulling through Norfolk on the 26th. Now then comes for the world's tag team titles. That's what means the most to you. You haven't had them long enough to call yourself a champion. You haven't beat Dusty Rhodes to call yourself a champion. A matter of fact, there ain't nobody out there beat Dusty Rhodes to call himself a champion. I am the Bull of the Woods. I am TBS. I am wrestling. I am the National Wrestling Alliance. And if I have to break your leg and that ugly hawk's leg or your nose, take an eye, then you can damn sure bet it's going to happen. Because why? Because the dream told you so, baby.
Crockett, thoughts on Dusty Rhodes right there?
I like the fact that he's not just yelling the whole time. He brings it up, brings it down. Like he ends that really kind of like old school Dusty charisma. He's not just yelling, screaming. I mean, he's been doing this for 2 or 3 weeks now, talking about what happened to his eye. So, I mean, you can't be 100% angry, rage the entire time. You got promos to cut every week. So he brings it up, brings it down a little bit. He's showing a little bit more of the Dusty charm in there. I like the fact that it's not just him just yelling and screaming at the Road Warriors.
I agree. Harper, what do you think?
I was kind of weird when I thought it was kind of strange when they asked him, you have hate in your heart.
The note I had is it did sound kind of heelish a little bit because he's talking about going after legs and eyes. But as I say that, I understand why he might sound heelish. He had a spike driven into his eye, so it would make sense that, if somebody ever did you dirty like that, all the rules all of a sudden change. You might not fight by the same rules, and you'll be wanting to get back at them even in the same way they got to you. So that's why I was like, it did sound kind of heelish, but I thought it worked because of the fact that he got his eye poked out, supposedly, allegedly.
Yeah.
I thought something was interesting too, and look, there could be nothing to this. The fact that this wasn't shot in the studio, I really believe there's something to that in my mind, at least. I do, because we saw those series of promos he cut where he couldn't help himself talking about the fat lady in the studio, and then the next week he's like, going off on her again. Like he doesn't like when these fans he cannot no-sell when the fans criticize him in the studio. I don't know. Maybe that's not what happened, but every time I see him outside of a studio cutting a promo, that's what I begin to think. So there's that. Harper, anything else?
Could be something to that. Yeah.
Because this was when they were giving the plaques away and shit, huh?
Well, that's about to come up in a second. Yeah, see, that's the other part too. That's why I said I think, and I wasn't saying for sure, because that's what we're about to see. So what Harper's talking about is first we go to a match with Bam Bam Bigelow with Sir Oliver Humperdinck, and he defeats Craig Brown. Did you have anything from this, Crockett?
No, nothing really. Humperdinck was on the mic most of the time that he was in the ring in lieu of a promo. I don't think he didn't do a in studio promo, right? So this maybe was kind of his opportunity here to put over what's going on with him and Barry Windham going into Starrcade.
And as Harper said last week or week before, all of a sudden they're doing these inset promos like the WWF was doing on their show.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like now you've seen a few of them. I mean, they did it earlier with Paul Jones. It's a pattern. Would you agree, Harper?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh man. So maybe that's.
I still say someone made those signs and they fucking gave them out.
I don't know, man. We've seen signs forever though.
No, we haven't.
Yeah, we have. I mean, not weekly, but God, that was a nice freaking gourd buster right there from Bigelow.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we've seen them. I feel like they've been in abundance. I mean, not every single week, but I feel like we've seen them before. But, who knows? If you went to Techwood Drive, send us something on Twitter or email, bookingtheterritory@gmail.com, and say, yes, they were handing out signs. Okay. So after Bigelow's match, we go to, it's not a promo, but JR throws us to Bill Apter, who's going to give out numerous awards for 1988. This is the PWI End of Year Awards. I'm not going to play the whole thing. I will just summarize it for you quickly. What are you about to say, Harper?
I said, well, good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not very riveting audio, to be honest. It's Sting is the most improved wrestler of the year. I wish Doc was here.
What the fuck is that?
I wish Doc was here.
I mean, what did he learn? How to tie his fucking shoes?
Damn. It's kind of vicious, Harper.
Like, he's the most improved.
Okay, fair enough. Who would you give it to? Most improved.
I don't know.
Rick Steiner, maybe?
Oh, yeah, okay. I get Rick Steiner or
Barry Windham?
Yeah, I guess you give it to Barry because he's the U.S. champion now.
Well, remember, and Barry was a babyface when he started the year.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you got to think about. They probably started voting for the awards in like the middle of the year. So the Rick Steiner thing just happened, a few weeks ago, right?
Yeah, technically. I mean, well, you're doing a varsity club, but yeah, he just turned babyface. But it does. Is I mean, I don't know. Look, we're arguing about a fictitious award. Not arguing, but we're debating a fictitious award from a magazine that we used to read as real. And it's
what do you think they did with those things?
Did with what? The awards?
Yeah, they're probably like, thanks. And they probably just throw it in the fucking trunk of their car and probably sit there fucking forever.
I guarantee you if Jim Cornette's got any, I know he received some. I guarantee he's got every last one of the ones he received.
Well, I guarantee the War Warriors mentioned how they use theirs as cutting boards.
Yeah.
That's what they said.
Say that again, Crockett. You broke up on my end a little. What did they use theirs for?
Well, the Road Warriors said in their promo that they use theirs as cutting boards. So there's that.
There's that. So Sting is the most improved wrestler, as mad as that makes Harper and Doc, even though Doc's not here. I'm sure he'd cut a promo on it. Matter of fact, when Doc's back next week, because I think he's supposed to be back, I'm going to ask him his thoughts on Sting being the most improved wrestler of the year. Dusty accepts the award in Sting's honor because, he's got to do so. The feud of the year is Luger versus Ric Flair. I guess I could agree with that. I mean, we've had a bunch of decent feuds this year, but I mean that seems fair. I don't know. What do you think, Harper?
Yeah.
Crockett, would you agree? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think this isn't just NWA, so there's I don't know.
Yeah, that's the problem. I'm like, Billy won 3 in old promotion. Only 3 people got it.
Well, I think, yeah, that's true. Manager of the year goes to J.J. Dillon. I don't know if I agree with that. Matter of fact, I don't agree with that. Cornette is the manager of the year. I don't care what anybody says. It's definitely not Ellering. And then the Road Warriors, I don't know how you give it to anyone else. They definitely are the tag team of the year, in my opinion. But I don't know. What do you think, Crockett? Agree or disagree?
I mean, yeah, I think so. In 88, what else is going on in 88?
I mean, you could have gave it to the Midnight, because I mean, at one point they held the world and U.S. at the same time, and they had to give up the U.S. because the NWA board of directors say you can only hold one title at a time. So like, you technically could give it to them. I mean, but I guess it's the end of the year, and the Road Warriors just made a big splash.
Mike, fans just didn't vote that way.
Yeah, fans didn't vote that way. Good Lord. All right, we used to flip. Crockett, were you into the PWI? Were you into PWIs, Crockett? Did you read them a lot or no?
Yeah, I think that I saw the cover of this one. I think that was the first year-end edition that I actually bought. So that when they showed the cover, I was like, yeah, I have that one.
I think I have this one in my box in my closet somewhere. This edition.
Oh yeah.
I think I do. I have to look. What were you about to say, Crockett? I didn't mean to cut you off.
I just like Bill Apter trying to avoid having his eye poked out by the spikes of the Road Warriors during that promo.
Yeah, he was a little nervous. As he's ducking, his hawk's moving and animals moving. The spike can do some damage. I mean, we saw the spike go through the podium when animals stuck it in there. So there's that. Okay. So anything else, Crockett or Harper? Y'all got anything else from this?
Nah.
Nope.
All right. Let me fast forward and get to it. We're going to go to a promo now from Lex Luger. I think Luger's real good here, so I want to play it. Here it is.
On December 26th during Starrcade, the entire eyes of the wrestling world on 2 men, Ric Flair and Lex Luger, World Heavyweight title. The stipulation is now out. Disqualification rule has been waived. But as an athlete, that's not going to lessen your preparation or your intensity, I know, going into Starrcade, knowing that stipulation is being held.
Tony Schiavone, the total package is going to keep on his jacket and his shirt. I'm going to stay wrapped like a Christmas present, because my Christmas is until December 26th. Starrcade 88, True Grit, because this is the final, the ultimate confrontation between the Nature Boy and the total package, because it's become readily apparent in the many months that we've wrestled that you will do anything. You will cheat, you will lie, or use any political influence to avoid the kind of match that what we want to have is a pinfall to find out who is the best wrestler in the world today, the NWA title, the most prestigious title in all of professional sports, the most coveted prize, the trophy. It's been yours for a very long time, Nature Boy, and you finally met your match. You know it, I know it, the fans across the country know it. And now, baby, your back is smack up against the wall. You have nowhere to go, because this is a no disqualification, and that's your specialty, isn't Nature Boy? Countouts, disqualifications, you name it. Well, can't happen in this match. There has to be a clear-cut winner. And Nature Boy, I know you can't beat me in the middle. Can you say the same? Starrcade 88, True Grit, the Nature Boy, and the total package. This is the match of all time. My intensity level, my training level has never, ever been what it is today. And I'm going to be the best shape of my life, and this is the time. Hey, what's going on, Rick? For a total package to shine, 89 will be the year of a total package. Thank you, Rick. What's your name? Alex. Alex told me he's going to be the world champion. If Alex says it, it's going to happen.
I would agree. Rick Steiner, and of course, the man who is prepared, the total package, Lex Luger. Fans?
Lex Luger's out there cutting a serious promo. Rick Steiner runs in with his friend Alex, his hand puppet. Crockett, your thoughts on this? I thought Luger was good, and I was like, why'd they mess it up with this at the end?
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was intense. He was serious, and then Rick at the end just kind of turns a little goofy. I like how Luger only calls him the Nature Boy. I don't think he ever called him Rick or Flair once. It's only the Nature Boy. I don't know if it seems like it's a little bit of a disrespect, like just calling him Nature Boy, not calling him Flair, not calling him Rick, only Nature Boy.
I think he did that a lot too back then. During the promos. I remember he would say Nature Boy, Nature Boy. Harper, what'd you think?
It was weird seeing him with like clothes on.
Yeah, because we're so used to him sweating bullets after the end of his promo.
Didn't flex or anything.
Didn't flex or nothing. Well, I think it's because Rick Steiner. I think it's because Rick Steiner threw him off his game.
Yeah, he's like, "Hey, what's up, Rick?"
Speaking of Rick Steiner, did you see that clothesline right there? He's in there against a guy named J.D. Wolf.
When he flips.
Steiner line.
Just murder him next time. God, Steiner looks good. I didn't have anything else from Luger. Did you, Harper?
Nah.
Rick Steiner defeats J.D. Wolf. Crockett, any thoughts here?
Now, maybe you can enlighten me on this. It says Rick Steiner, Florida heavyweight champion. What am I missing?
Oh, damn. They still say that?
Yeah, they still say it. So he was given the Florida title. God, it's months ago.
That's when he first showed up.
Yes. So that's where that's coming from. But he hasn't had the belt out with him in a while. It's been a good while now. That's what you're getting.
Mike Rotunda was the Florida champion, and he just gave the belt to Rick, like, here, take it.
Yep. So he and for months you would see him I don't say months, but you'd see him with the belt, and then weeks would go by you wouldn't see him with it, but then you'd see him with it, he'd bring it out, and then I swear they were like comparing like penis sizes or something, because they'd be cutting promos and Steiner would go, "My belt's bigger than yours," and Rotunda's like, "You're a moron, Steiner." He's like, "No, I'm not. You are." And like, they'd play this stupid game that Steiner would play back then. So he'd bring it out, and I don't know the last time we've seen it. Now that you say that,
it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a little bit, but that's what that is, Crockett.
Still the reigning Florida heavyweight champion, though.
Yes. You should have seen '87 when Rotunda was the Florida champion, and he's cutting these boring promos in the studio. The best thing that happened to Mike Rotunda was him becoming a part, not to say best thing ever, but one of the best points of his career was when they reinvented him with the Varsity Club. We talked about that a lot when that first happened, because it really, really did something with him and Sullivan and Steiner. I mean, it really, really improved the whole package of it. But yes, he gave the belt, he gave the Florida title to Steiner. That's the story behind it.
Yeah, then Mike Rotunda goes to the WWF and cuts terrible, boring promos there as well.
I mean, I don't know. You don't, Harper. How bad were some of his promos in like '87?
They were very bland.
It was just I mean, it was like
with Dory Funk.
Remember that? Oh my.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were feuding over the Florida title, and like I think Mike Rotunda is a hell of a talent, so we didn't really want to say anything bad, but it's like you look at those promos and you're like, what the hell are we watching? I mean, there was nothing in it that would make you go, I want to see that match, and I want to see those two fight. It was what it was. All right, we'll keep going. Barry Windham is going to defeat Gary Royal. Crockett, anything you got from that one?
Well, I did notice he wrestled in his chaps, just like your idol Shawn Michaels. So,
oh, that's funny. You want to you're trying to be funny there? Okay, Shawn Michaels. God. What a just irritating human being. Great talent, but just lost his smile.
Oh,
I remember one time. I'm gonna make y'all laugh. One time Doc and I were at work and we were talking, and he was frustrated about something. He goes, "You know, if I ever decide to resign from this place and go get me another job, when they do my exit interview, I'm going to tell them I lost my smile." I thought that was awesome. Can you see somebody doing that in the workplace in corporate America, Crockett? I lost my smile.
I could see Doc doing it probably.
Yes, Barry Windham in his, what do you think about his ponytail? Hopper, he's got a. It's not.
It looks better, I guess, because this was when like Young Guns was big, huh?
Is that during his time?
I think so.
I saw that movie, but it's been a million years. Yeah, he's that was a hell of a bump on the floor that guy took. Barry Windham defeats Gary Roy, though. Anything else, Crockett?
These job guys, how does not one of them know how to run the fucking ropes? Holy fucking Toledo.
Yeah, they're just they're bad.
Well, I think actually Gary Royal, he was like one of the better enhancement talents. I mean, I didn't make a note about his rope running here. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention, but I mean, we've seen some of these guys that they bring in, I swear I've seen some guys this guy's never hit the ropes before. You can tell. There was one guy one time, he would run straight to the ropes and he would hit them chest first. You're like, what? I mean, that's the first thing you learn. Lay across them and hook your arm. That way you don't fall through them. And you could tell the guy had no idea what he was doing. So Gary Roy at least laid on it right there. He hit it that way. But I know what you mean. We've seen some guys. It's like, oh my God, you're gonna hurt yourself. There's no better way to break a rib than to fall on a steel cable. But anyway, all right. Any other thoughts, Crockett?
No.
All right, let's go to Ric Flair. He's gonna brighten the mood here.
Thanks very much, Tony Schiavone. It's always a pleasure to be here with the heavyweight champion of the world. We got 16 days until Starrcade. You're not going to have a lot of time to do any Christmas shopping because I know you're training overtime for the match of your life. And quite honestly, in my opinion, it is the greatest challenge, sir, that you have ever faced.
Well, Jim Ross, I take that into account because I consider you to be one of the foremost experts on this great sport. But the bottom line is, and I'm going to be as explicit as I've ever been to the greatest sports audience in the world, and I'm talking to the wrestling fans that follow this tremendous sport. Starrcade 1988 is going to be the greatest wrestling event to ever take place. More viewers from around the world will watch this program than ever before. And once again, the world's heavyweight wrestling championship is the featured match. You know why? Because for 80-some years, the championship belt has been worn by the greatest athletes to ever compete in this sport. It is a singles event. There is no team. There are no partners. It is the trophy that distinguishes the champion as the very best at what he does, and Jim Ross, but you and I have come to know as the greatest sport in the world. So in Norfolk, Virginia, the 26th of December, yes, the burden is on my back because I have walked that aisle before and I have defended that championship. And as you stated earlier, I probably have never faced anyone as physically awesome as Lex Luger. But here's the way I look at it, Jim, and here's the only way Ric Flair can look at it. Luger probably possesses the greatest
physical skills of any athlete in any sport in the world. I give him his due. But in Ric Flair, Lex Luger, you're going to be competing against the greatest wrestler of all time. The greatest wrestler in our sport. The greatest technician. And as you know, Lex Luger, I am in the greatest shape of any man in this sport. I am, if you ask the female audience, the 60-minute man, pal. So if you can hang in there, think about it. Starrcade, the greatest wrestling event of all time. Two great ones walk the aisle. One walks away with the trophy. And pal, if you don't think you're not in for the fight of your life, you want something that I live by 24 hours a day. The bottom line is, Luger, and Ric Flair, it doesn't get any better than this. And don't plan on changing it to anything else. Woo!
The heavyweight champion of the world, Nature Boy Ric Flair, preparing for the match of his life. Be sure and call your local cable company for the program availability. Starrcade 88, the day after Christmas. We'll talk more about it later in this hour.
Thought Rick was good as normal. Crockett, what'd you think?
No, yeah, excellent. I mean, Rick, you always, people just think of Rick being a guy putting himself over, talking about the girls and all this stuff, but he's great at putting the other guy over. So when he wins, he sneaks out a win. He beats somebody, and he's putting over Luger like $1 million this whole lead up to Starrcade.
Two men walk into the building and into the ring, and one of them walks out. One of his quotes. I thought that was good. What'd you think, Harper?
He's putting it over, trying to get people to buy it, and then Vince McMahon says no, right?
Why you say that?
Doesn't he run something against it?
No.
Doesn't he run the Royal Rumble or Survivor Series against it?
You're thinking of last year.
Okay.
Yeah. This is where we need Joe and Quinn, right? Right, Crockett?
I suppose so. Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah.
They'd be able to spit that history out like that. No, that's last year, I believe. All right. So I thought Rick was good. I thought he was fine here. He's basically trying to talk you into the building. Two men walk into the building, into the ring, and one of them then walks out. And I will say, Starrcade, there is one thing on this Starrcade that's bad, but it's an enjoyable pay-per-view. We keep moving. Paul Heyman introduces his Midnight Express, who defeat Jerry Price and the Menace. Crockett, anything from that?
The Menace, huh?
Yeah, the Menace.
That's where your name came from?
No. At
least this guy's not wearing basketball shorts and a football.
I know, you fucking turd, outlaw piece of shit.
Anything from the match, Hopper? Anything from the match?
Nah, no.
Mm-hmm. He's just mad because I was better than him.
Yeah, whatever.
Crockett, anything from you?
No, there's nothing going on here.
All right. I didn't make a note. Paul Lee did cut one of those like inset promos during this thing, but I didn't even have a note from it that he had said anything of importance or anything. Let's go now to Barry Windham with his hat and chaps and vest, and J.J. Dillon. Here they are.
The fact during your match that since Bam Bam came over the top with that splash, this man has really turned up the intensity a couple of notches.
Well, they may have somewhat intimidated us in the eyes of some people, but in my eyes, they didn't intimidate me. They certainly didn't intimidate Mr. Windham. Everybody's talking about Starrcade 88, the event, and it is an event. But for Mr. Windham and Mr. Flair, it's a matter of two very important matches, two very important titles, and frankly, I don't care what happens to everybody else that night. I know it'll be a gala occasion. My only concern is that Barry Windham leaves the ring, United States champion. Ric Flair leaves the ring, world heavyweight champion.
You know what, I'll tell you what, Tony Schiavone, being the gentleman that I am, and a man that always speaks the truth, I'll tell you, I know nothing about intimidation, and I know a lot about a whole lot of things. Let me tell you what, Bam Bam Bigelow, if you were to make a comparison between the two athletes, you and me, there is none. Let me tell you what, this championship right here, just like the man said from his own mouth, I stepped up the intensity just a little bit. And I don't intend to let up until I'm through with you. So let me tell you what, keep training like you're doing. I saw you doing a little road work down the road the other day. I saw you trying to shed a few pounds. It's going to take more than a few pounds off of you, pal. Those flames are going to be burning bright on that outfit you wear, son. And I'm going to be in there, just like I said, lean and mean, 265 pounds, and I'm going to give you the beating of your life.
Tell you what, fans, it shapes up to be one of the best battles we've ever had for the U.S. Heavyweight title. Barry Windham and Bam Bam Bigelow and Starrcade.
I thought this was effective going into their match at Starrcade. Harper, any thoughts?
Yeah, I like this.
Barry means business.
Yeah, it means business. Talking shit about fucking Bam Bam. He saw him running.
Yeah. I don't think there's any fun and games here. I believe it's just, yeah. Crockett, what about you? Anything? Go ahead, Harper.
I mean, wasn't fucking Dusty talks about him and Sting being a tag team? Wasn't him and Bam Bam supposed to be a tag team?
That's what I was trying to tell you and Doc a month ago. I was like, and Doc defended it. I was like, dude, I was like, don't even pay any attention to that. And Doc was like, oh no, I think it's fine. No, it wasn't fine. It was because you're right. They were saying that, and I was thinking, well, Starrcade's coming up, and that's not what's about to happen. So I don't know why Dusty's talking about this. And then the other part too is I knew Bam Bam was gonna wrestle Barry, so it's like, why is he talking about this whole tag team? And again, I thought it was just another way for Dusty to just put himself out there. But I don't want to sound negative. It's just that's how I felt. So I agree. Crockett, what'd you have?
I mean, I'd never known Barry Windham to be a great promo guy, but this is a pretty good promo. I mean, JJ starts it off. He brings it home. I like he's talking about those flames of your outfit are going to be burning bright. It's going to take more than a few pounds. I really liked what he put across here.
In his heel promos, if you've never seen his babyface promos in Crockett promotions, his heel promos are so much better. And he was really good here. So I agree with you. We go to another segment. It is a promo. I don't have anything from it, actually. It was kind of quick. We had Mike Rotunda and Kevin Sullivan. Did you have anything from that, Crockett?
Not really. Just one thing about like the varsity club up here in the Northeast. No one really gives a shit about college sports, so I don't really care about Syracuse and Oklahoma, whatever else the fuck. It doesn't really hit home with me.
Nice.
Just doesn't. I really could care less, but or couldn't care less, whichever one works. But yeah, it's a Southern thing. The whole thing about college athletes, right?
But y'all don't care about the Orange Men?
Who?
Dude, they don't. College football in the Northeast is like.
Where you from?
Boston.
You don't like Boston College?
No.
What?
No one really cares about. No one cares.
Auburn.
No one cares about fucking college sports up here.
Auburn.
UMass?
I went to UMass and I didn't give a fuck.
He went there. He don't care. That's his point.
That's nice. They're the Minutemen, right?
Yeah.
See? What an asshole.
I don't understand. Like, they fill up 100,000 seat stadiums for college sports down there.
Dude,
why?
The SEC is a professional football league. You need to know that.
Yeah.
And they're still getting paychecks, right?
There is nothing minor about the SEC. Nothing. No. Nothing is minor about the SEC. That is pro football at its finest. So
have they changed it yet so these guys can get a payday, or is it still they're all making money off these guys' backs?
No.
They just make money off of them. Well, at least on the slick they don't get paid.
Well, yeah, I was about to say, hold on. Are we talking legally getting paid? Or are we talking so they legally get a full ride?
Right. When I was up at UMass, I was there when Marcus Camby was there, and I guess we lost a couple of basketball championships because of what was going on there.
Exactly. So legally paid versus illegally are two different things. They legally get a full ride scholarship, but SEC football is a pro league. I don't give a damn which way you slice it. Unless you're a Vanderbilt fan. God bless those like Commodores.
Kentucky or some shit.
Well, yeah, but I mean, even then, like when it comes to basketball, I mean, like Kentucky, you know, they're top of the chest. So, I mean, like Kentucky football may not be good, but I mean, basketball, Kentucky runs stuff. So it's, but SEC football is ridiculous. I mean, dude. There's more people at Tiger Stadium on a Saturday than there are at Saints games on a Sunday, and Saints games sell out. So what's that tell you? Because the stadium holds more. I mean, Tiger Stadium holds more, but yeah, there's that.
It holds 100,000.
Right, and this dome doesn't hold 100. So there you go. As we're talking over Mike Rotunda versus or defeating the Italian Stallion.
As we should.
Yes. Italian Stallion wrestled Dr. Death at the Clash in a 15-minute barn burner match.
Are you fucking serious?
Go listen to Crockett and I's. If you're not a patron, you need to become one to listen to Crockett and I talk about Dr. Death and Italian Stallion at Clash of Champions 4 going 15 minutes.
That's crazy. Who canceled?
Exactly.
Someone had to like fucking got a flat tire or some shit.
Well, and my logic was, well, maybe they wanted to do something with Italian Stallion, so it's like, all right, well, let's let him go out there with Dr. Death for 15 minutes. But man, that match just went on.
Rotunda beats him here in 3 minutes.
And then, right, that's a good point. I didn't think about it like that, Crockett. You're right. Like literally, 3 days before this airs, he went 15 minutes on live TV with Dr. Death. And then this airs, and Rotunda beats him in 3 minutes.
Somebody must have canceled, and like he was there.
I don't think so. That card was weird, though. The Clash was weird. And Crockett and I talk about it at tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. Basically, the first two matches, what was it, Crockett? We went like 50 to 55 minutes, and we only had two matches in that opening half of it?
Yep. There was one that was like almost a 30-minute draw. And then there was, this 15-minute match and a couple promos. So it was the first hour were just two matches.
The tag match wasn't a draw, though. It was Eddie Gilbert and Ron Simmons versus the Fantastics. So that they actually finished that one
all the way.
Yeah, but it almost went 30. That's right. And then we had Dr. Death versus Italian Stallion for 15 minutes. So yeah, we were almost an hour in before we even got to a third match. But it was fun. It was fun. We had a good discussion. Lots of good stuff talked about there. All right, let's. We're getting ready to finish this episode up, but before we do so, we need to get to the Road Warriors, who now they're going to cut a promo. Following up from Dusty Rhodes earlier. Here it is.
Well, it meant something to Dusty Rhodes here, the World Tag Team Champions, the Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors, close to these spikes, nowhere to be.
You know something, Tony Schiavone? Huck and I and Precious Paul sitting back there in the stinking control room, having a listen to what Dusty Rhodes had to say. Dusty Rhodes, we never said you never made a great name for yourself. And Sting, you're one of the greatest upcoming stars in our profession. But what we're looking at right here and inside this book says we are the tag team of the year for the 4th time out of 5 years. Nobody has won that more than 3 times, and like the Warriors always do, we just set a new record. Nobody's taking that away from us, and we got these right here. We finally got our title shot, and on our first title shot, we took them, and we ain't letting you or nobody else take them away from us. Tell them, Hawk. Dusty Rhodes, you made a comment that I don't like. You said that when we go to our hometown in Chicago,
The people call us yellow dogs. Well, you better get the back guano out of your stinking ears, because that ain't the case. You misunderstood the people of Chicago. They said, way to stick it to that yellow dog, Dusty Rhodes. The yellow dog that you are for not being at a championship six-man match that you were supposed to be at. The yellow dog you are for substituting Sting for yourself. A boy who can't carry the load. Tell him, Paul.
Fans, we're out of time. We'll see you next.
Thank God. Steven Jaworski,
Tony Schiavone gets my Rolex right there.
Say that again, Crockett. I'm sorry. I was talking over you.
I'm giving Schiavone my Rolex right now for cutting off Paul Ellering.
I'm giving it to him too. So Jaworski, I'm sorry you can't crank one off this week in honor of Chris Cepeda's new award for you, the crank off moment of the week. Yes, we're not giving it to Ellering. We're giving it to Schiavone for cutting Ellering off. So Schiavone's going to get the Rolex. Harper, what did you think about this?
That was great.
Awesome.
It was perfect timing. He should do that for Nikita.
Hold on, let's listen again.
Sting for yourself. A boy who can't carry the load. Tell him, Paul.
Fans, we're out of time. We'll see you next week on World Champ.
Schiavone was like, that's not going to work for me, brother. I love that. The Warriors are mad at him, too, because he wouldn't let Paul talk. Oh, Crockett, I'm going to throw it to you. Any other thoughts on that, how it ended?
I mean, it ended tremendously. It was the best.
What a climax. Crank one off Jaworski. Oh,
that's
Jesus.
Nice.
However, any other thoughts from you?
Well, you notice at the end, Dusty's Rhodes' name is taken off in the credits, I think.
Yep, watch.
Let's see. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That sucks.
Sure is.
That's what you get for not following instructions.
That's what you get for booking your eye being taken out and getting juice on air. Oh, boy. Yeah. All right. So we need to rate this thing and give out our Rolexes. Before we do so, I want to remind you, if you are shopping on Amazon, as we are all hunkered down in this pandemic, please use our Amazon referral link at tinyurl.com/BTTAmazon. It is a great way to support this show without spending anything extra. Again, that's tinyurl.com/BTTAmazon. Give that links to the wives, girlfriends, dudes, whoever is in your life that you love or don't. Give that link to them and tell them to use it. tinyurl.com/BTTAmazon. And again, you heard me talk about the Clash of Champions a number of times in this episode. If you want access to, not only that Clash, but the other 3 that we've done, along with the pay-per-views we've done this year, tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. Harper and I even did a Tiger King special on Patreon. So you can get that there if you want to become a Patreon member as well. Hey, before we give out this Rolex and rate this thing, Crockett, what did you think about Tiger King?
I thought, it just absolute shit show, obviously. Like we were talking before the show, you were talking about how there's no baby faces in this. I think at the end, Joe Exotic's making the big baby face comeback.
Yeah,
he's turning. He's going full baby. But yeah, this is just twists and turns. I actually listened to a podcast like a year ago that was about this, and he's Joe Exotic. The creepiest to me is the Doc dude. Just how he lures these like barely legal broads to here, come pet my tiger, and then just makes him part of his harem. He takes the cake from me.
Dude, they got guys like that go into bars with like parrots and shit.
Just walking in with a parrot on your shoulder like a pirate?
Yeah.
Hey, baby, you want to pet my parrot?
Yeah. go
What
play
the hell?
with my Tigers. And I will not pay you anything. And if your arm gets bit off, it sucks to be you.
Be back to work by the end of the week, please.
Yeah, clock in, bitch. Oh, wait, you don't get paid anything, so you don't got to clock in. Just show up.
Yeah, but she was a corny somebody too, though, with the freaking volunteers. The chick from the rescue.
They're all... Who? Oh,
Carol Baskin.
Yeah, Carol, that murderous bitch.
Ghoul.
Hey, I won't say what Harper and I thought because it's on the Patreon special. Crockett, do you think she had her husband killed and had a tiger eat him?
I mean, I can't say for sure that he fed her to a tiger, but there was definitely some chicanery going on. Come on.
There was some shenanigans involved. Would you agree?
It sounds like an episode of fucking Law and Order. I'm waiting to see that on fucking Law and Order. Where those ones where it says stripped from the headlines.
Yeah. That new show where they're bringing back the guy from SVU.
Yeah.
On there.
I just don't understand how someone could just like disappear.
I can't.
On their own.
Well,
but like
when you run a tiger sanctuary, it's quite easy to make someone disappear.
Yeah.
That's messed up what she did that man. Allegedly.
I know. She fed her husband a battle cat.
Dude, that's terrible. Terrible, man. Come on. Grow up, woman.
Tiger in you.
And then she had the will change or the power of attorney change, like right before he disappeared. Come on, bro.
Yeah, no. What the fuck?
I'm not saying anything more. Let's close this show out. All right. We got to rate it, and we got to give out the Rolex. Hey, Crockett, are you really going to give yours to Shivani for cutting off Ellering?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to do the same thing because I thought it was so
nice.
Great. What about you, Hopper? Who are you going to give yours to?
I give mine to JJ.
All right.
Really?
Yeah, him and Barry.
They were good.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Rick's was that same old, talk him into the building. And the Road Warriors, I mean, they kind of got cut off. It was, and fucking Luger was Luger.
Yeah, it was. JJ was good. JJ and Barry together were real good. I agree with you. Yeah, I can see that. Okay, so you gave yours to JJ. Crockett and I legitimately are giving it to Tony Schiavone. I really think this is the first time Tony Schiavone's ever gotten one, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, so we got to rate it. Crockett, what are you going to rate it?
I mean, like Harper was saying, there's no real blowaway promos. Nothing really memorable from the show. Obviously, the matches. I mean, there was that one match that was a comedy of errors, but nothing that really made me want to crank off. So I would take probably a C.
Crockett gives it a C because there wasn't anything he could crank off to on this episode. I'm gonna give it a B.
Nice.
I'll go with a solid B. Not that I want to crank off like Javorsky, but I'll give it a solid B. Not that I want to crank off like Javorsky or Sapita. Harper, what are you gonna rate it?
I'm gonna give it a solid B.
Solid B. So we got two B's and we got a C.
Still a fucking hour and a half. This fucking blows. For like a month, they've been an hour and a half.
Get used to it, man. I mean, it's not baseball season.
Yeah.
No, fuck.
It's not baseball season. Baseball season's awesome, man. You get those 48-minute episodes. It's like, woo!
Yeah.
We can get through these. Nah. So, all right. We got 2 B's, 1 C, two Rolexes on Tony Schiavone, and then 1 for JJ Dillon. That's almost going to wrap things up on this week's episode of Booking the Territory, the Unprofessional Wrestling Podcast. Crockett, I know the WPAN is doing something special these days, so do you want to plug that again? As I think you mentioned it last week, but please feel free to mention it again.
Sure. Yeah, basically go to my website or our website, thewpan.com. That is thewpan.com. We're basically replaying the best interviews that we did over the 4-year history of the podcast. This past week was... it's probably 2 weeks ago now, as when this is dropping. But Makazi, who is the husband of Sasha Banks, and he is also a costume designer for WWE. We talked to him a couple of years ago, replayed that. Talks a lot about designing gear for Sasha Banks, for other guys. What WrestleMania season is like when he's putting together gear and stuff like that. Really fun conversation, and a lot about his career because he started as a independent wrestler in New England. So we talk a lot about that as well.
Wait, Crockett. Sasha's married?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm sorry. Sorry to be the one to inform you.
He's a dork too.
Oh, come on. That's Crockett's
He's not
buddy.
a dork. He's a lovely man.
He's a good kid. I mean, come on, Harper.
What the fuck? That's fucked up.
Damn, Harper, what's wrong with you, man? I hear he's actually a hell of a... I heard from... Not you didn't tell me this. Malone has told me this, and Fury told me this. He was a hell of a talent, too, in the ring, actually.
Yeah, I think both of them list him as one of their favorite opponents, if not maybe their favorite.
Yeah, so... And it was... I listened to that interview. It was pretty good. I actually... My favorite one that you all did was the one with Hanson, I think. I think that was my favorite, because it was a 2-parter, and it was really, really good. Hanson, Ivar, back then he was... he was an ROH at the time, right? Yeah, he would have had to been an ROH at the time. War Machine, but that was some good stuff. So there you go. Check it out, y'all. Check it out. Like Crockett said, they're re-airing some of the older stuff. So go check it out at thewpan.com, or like I used to say, search Wrestling Podcast About Nothing wherever you get your podcast from. Harper, I know we don't have any Wildcat dates because this pandemic going on, and Lord knows what's happening when. I've gotten some questions about, hey, is this going to affect X-rated? I don't know. I don't have an answer. I don't even have a date for X-rated, so I guess we'll have to wait and see. Right, Harper?
X-rated is, to my knowledge, it's still it's still a go.
Yeah, but we just can't really say at this point because
because
no one knows
what
when
the
it's
fuck's going to happen.
Yeah, so that's what sucks. But anyway, we'll let you know as soon as we know something, because obviously we would love to celebrate X-Rated this year too, and check out some Wildcat Wrestling in doing so. All right, with that said, I got to just do a couple of other things before I get out of here. First off, I want to mention the Our Vantage Point with Joe Murata and Michael Quinn, the Retro Wrestling Podcast, the northern version of BTT, slightly classier, definitely more professional, but still fun nonetheless. Thanks, Joe and Quinn, for all your support, all of your plugs. Please give them a listen. They support us, so please support them. Independent guys just like us. And check out the Bottom Line Cast with Mike Prue and JV, who also do our ECW show on the Patreon feed. Another good show as well. That's all I got. Crockett, you got anything else?
No, that's it, man. Thank you for having me again.
Oh, no problem, man. Thank you for doing it, stepping in for Doc when he couldn't do it these last couple of weeks. I think he's back next week, but I will confirm with you tomorrow. Harper, anything else from you before we get out of here?
Nah.
All right, well, it's time to
busting, baby doll's guts out.
And where's the other one I'm looking for? Hold on, y'all. This is bad. Oh, here it is.
Yeah, I say, baby's got a pot roast on.
All right, Javorski, go crank off to that. Let's get out of here. Harper, hit the tagline. Take us home.
Book it, bitch.